Let's talk about the physical development in early adulthood. When it comes to the developmental task of young adults, this includes achieving autonomy, establishing identity, developing emotional stability, establishing a career, finding intimacy, becoming part of a group or community, establishing a residence, and learning how to manage a household, becoming a parent and rearing children, making marital or relationship adjustments, and learning to parent. As far as the physical development in early adulthood as a continuation, the body completes its growth, but the brain continues to develop. In previous classes, how especially your frontal lobe does not fully develop until about the mid 20s. The reproductive system, the motor ability, strength, and lung capacity are operating at their best, but will start a slow and gradual decline by the mid to late 30s. Habits established in our 20s are related to health conditions and middle age, particularly the risk of heart disease. And American men and women with moderate weight gain from early to middle adulthood have significantly increased risk of major chronic disease and mortality. Early adulthood tends to be a time of relatively good health. We need to make sure to maintain this and take care of ourselves because what we do in our 20s and our 30s are crucial for down the road as far as the onset of major chronic diseases, especially related to cardiovascular health, among others. Okay. Continuing with physical development, the leading cause of death for both age groups 15 to 24 years and 25 to 34 in the United States are unintentional injury, suicide, and homicide, followed by cancer and heart disease. Okay. So rates of violent death are influenced largely by substance abuse. And youth transitioning into adulthood have some of the highest rates of alcohol and substance abuse. Drugs impair judgment, reduce inhibitions, and alter mood, all of which can lead to dangerous behaviors such as reckless driving, violent altercations, and forced sexual encounters. And drug and alcohol use also increase the risk of sexually transmitted infections due to the increase of engagement in risky sexual behavior when under the influence, because especially when it comes to alcohol, there are these reduced inhibitions. You may know what you're engaging in, but you really don't care as much. Now let's look at the cognitive development in early adulthood. Thinking abstractly is one characteristic of adult thought, and post formal thought is practical, realistic, and individualistic, but also characterized by understanding the complexities of various perspectives. Perry notes that cognition tends to shift from dualism, aka black and white thinking, to multiplicity, which includes some problems are solvable and some answers not yet known, to relativism, the importance of the context in knowledge. Okay. Education and work. About one third of American adult population has a bachelor's degree or higher today, compared to less than 5% in 1940, which is great because we're becoming more educated. And that increases about 10% of the population, a little bit more varied as time goes on, probably to a higher percentage. But about 10% of the population has a master's degree, and then around 1 to 2% of the population has a doctorate or professional doctorate degree. Educational attainment rates vary by gender and race, but the rising costs of higher education have raised questions about whether uh, college is worth the cost. Now, for students who are taking me at the college setting, I teach at a community college. The benefits of attending a community college are that it is more cost effective and you're still getting a great education. It's not like the quality of the education is less. And especially for those first 2 years at a community college, you're taking your general education credits anyways. And if you live in a state that's similar to Tennessee, we have agreements in place where our credits must transfer to our state universities. And we have great relationships with local private institutions where they are very good about accepting our credits. They're still, at the end of the day, going to get their bachelor's degree from their respective institution, but they got it at a lower cost thanks to uh, attending a community college first. But the question still remains about whether college is worth it or not, because especially when it comes to private institutions, I'm not trying to call them out necessarily, but I guess I am in a way. The costs of these private institutions are just enormous nowadays. And you got to think, is that bachelor's degree in varying subjects outside of engineering, nursing, among others, is it truly worth it for the amount of debt you have to go in? This is a good class discussion that we may have, and you're welcome to have that discussion in the comments. But I worry about the future of higher education in that if we price people out of it, I'm going to be curious about how that percentage of bachelor's degree attainment will vary because, of course, we have a high attainment. One third of the population has that bachelor's degree. But what is that going to look like? I don't know. I really don't. There remains a question also about the connection between higher education and the workplace and whether formal education prepares young adults for work. That's another great example as well. Does your bachelor's degree or your degree in general really prepare you for the workforce? I think that's why a lot of internships are encouraged throughout. You can actually get that hands-on learning and realize what your future career is going to look like. I know a lot of degree programs have it embedded to where they have to do an internship to get that experience. That works twofold to have that experience with all it's on your resume, but also to see what the day to day is going to look like in your future career. So soft skills, as well as the particular knowledge and skills in a college major, are important, especially because they prepare adults to continually learn new things and adapt creatively in their careers and lives. Learning doesn't just stop at whenever you obtain your degree. It is a lifelong process, and that's what college prepares you for. And Holland proposed that there are six personality types: realistic, investigative, artistic, social, enterprising, and conventional, as well as varying types of work environment.